Hello viewers, hope you all are good. In this video, I'm going to explain the addition rules of probability with a simple example. As all of us know that probability is a very important concept in mathematics and it has several applications in the business world. But unfortunately, for majority of the people, this concept looks daunting and very difficult. So I'll just try to keep it very simple so that even a novice can also understand that what are the addition rules of probability and how they are going to apply in their real life if they have to find out or calculate the probability under different situations or circumstances. So okay, let's move forward. So I will use the following example to explain the addition rules of probability. So if you look at the table on the screen, you'll notice that it provides certain information about a factory where there are three shifts: shift X, shift Y, and shift Z. And there are three grades of items that are produced. That is grade 1, grade 2, and faulty. For example, if you look at the second column uh, in shift X, you'll find that there are 65 grade 1 items produced on a particular day, 56 grade 2 items were produced, and 940 items were produced. And if you add up these three, you will get a total production of 130 in shift X. Similarly, for shift Y, grade 1 items number is 72, grade 2 is again 72, while the faulty items number is 16, and the total items produced in shift Y are 160 units. For shift Z, there are 71 grade 1 items, 33 grade 2 items, and 6 faulty items, and the total units produced is 110 in shift Z. So when you look at the last column, total column, in the grade 1 row, we find that there are 208 grade 1 items that were produced by all the three shifts, that is shift X, shift Y, and shift Z. Similarly, there were 161 grade 2 items that were produced by shift X, Y, and Z. And of course, the total faulty items produced by shift X, Y, and Z are 31. So if we just add up these numbers, we'll get the total number for all shifts and all grades, that is 400. So we do use this table to apply different addition rules of probability under different situations. Now we are going to find out the probability under 5 different scenarios. So how we're going to do it? It reads, if an item is selected at random from the day's production, what is the probability that first situation is it is grade 1, second situation is it was produced by shift X, third situation is it was produced by shift Y or shift Z, fourth situation is it was produced by shift Y or is grade 2, and the fifth situation is it is faulty or was produced by shift Z. So okay, we're going to examine all these situations one by one for a thorough understanding of the concept of addition rules of probability. So the first situation is that what is the probability that an item picked from day's production is a grade 1 item. For that, what we're going to do is we're going to first find out the total of grade 1 items. Then we'll divide this by total of all shifts and grades items. That is the figure of 400 that we just saw in the previous slide. So how are we going to find out total of grade 1? Of course, with reference to all the three shifts, shift X, shift Y, shift Z, the number is 65, 72, and 71 respectively. We'll add it up. And similarly, for total of all shifts and grades, the three numbers are 130, 160, and 110 from the table. So when we add up these, we find the number 208 for total of grade 1 and 400 for total of all shifts and grades. So when you divide 208 by 400, we get the probability of 0.52, or there is a 52% chance if an item is randomly picked up from day's production, it would be a grade 1 item. Now, with reference to if an item is picked randomly, what is the probability that it was produced by shift X? So again, we're going to apply that addition rules of probability. So we're going to first find out the total of shift X numbers, and then we're going to divide it by total of all shifts and grades. So we know that in shift X, the three under three different categories, that grade 1, grade 2, and faulty, the numbers are 65 plus 56 and 9. And similarly for total of shifts and grades that we just calculated earlier is number 400, that is the sum total of 208, 161, and 31. So when you divide 130 by 400, we arrive at a figure of 0.325. So it means the probability that if we are going to pick an item randomly, that it was produced by shift X during a day is 32.5%. Now in the third scenario, if we pick an item randomly from day's production, then what is the probability that it was produced by shift Y or shift Z? So we do again apply the addition rules of probability. So what we will do is first we will determine the total of shift Y and Z, the numbers, and then we will divide it by total of all shifts and grades. So we know that in shift Y, the numbers for grade 1, grade 2, and faulty items is 72 plus 72 plus 16. While for shift Z, the number are 71 for grade 1, 33 for grade 2, and 6 for faulty. And total, we know that is 400, as we have done it earlier. So when you add up these numbers of shift Y and Z, it will be 160 plus 110. That would be 270. While the total is 400, when you divide it, so you'll get the number 0.675. That implies that there is a 67.5% chance or probability that if an item is picked randomly from day's production, it will be produced by shift Y or shift Z. In scenario D, we're trying to find out the probability that when an item is picked randomly from day's production, that what is the probability it was produced by shift Y or is grade 2. So again, we're going to apply the addition rules of probability. So what we're going to do is, first we'll determine the total of shift Y, then we'll add total of grade 2 in it. And in order to avoid double counting, we're going to deduct grade 2 of shift Y from it. And then the total will be divided by total of all shifts and grades number, that is 400 units that were produced or that are produced in one day. So for total of shift Y, the numbers are 72 plus 72 plus 16. That is for grade 1, grade 2, and faulty items. Similarly, total of grade 2 for the three shifts X, Y, Z is 56, 72, 33. And we're going to deduct from it grade 2 of shift Y, that is 72. So the sum total will be 249, that is 160 plus 161 minus 72. This will be 249, and we're going to divide it by 400, that is total of all shifts and grades. And in this case, the probability is 0.6225. So it means there is approximately 63% chance of probability that if an item is picked randomly from day's production, it will be produced by shift Y or is grade 2 item. And the final scenario is if we pick an item randomly from day's production, what is the probability that it is faulty or it was produced by shift Z? So again, we're going to apply those addition rules of probability. So we need to first determine total of all faulty units, then we have to add total of shift Z, and again, in order to avoid double counting, we're going to deduct 14 shift Z, and then whatever is the number, we're going to divide it by total of all shifts and grades, that is 400. So for total of all faulty, it is 31. We can refer back to the table. While for total of shift Z in all grades, that is grade 1, grade 2, and of course faulty is 110. While 14 shifts Z are only 6, so we need to deduct them because they have already been included in number 110. So we arrive at a figure of 135. Once we divide 135 with 400, that is total of all shifts and grades, that is total number of units in all shifts and grades. So we arrive at a figure of 0.3375. So it means there is a 33.75% probability or chance that if an item is picked up randomly from day's production, it will be faulty or maybe produced by shift Z. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please also share and like this video. I'm going to regularly upload my contents relating to mathematics and accounting for my viewers. Thank you for your interest in my channel.